We all know from what happened with Jesus Christ of Nazareth and Muhammad of Mecca that the Gospels are lived by the few, and that the many need them to live lives worthy of the glory of grace, but the many often choose to ignore the few because they're addicted to what they do. So we all know that. Hey, that rhymes. Hey, let it fly, but it was too high, right? So, whew, a little bit tired. Went out there. We got irrigated today. I had to go snake the under here and then cut back all the saplings that were popping up. And I had to go dig out. I told Dad I was going to do it this year, and I forgot. And I remember today because the water was coming in. I had to go dig out the trees out there near the shed. So we did that, dug out and ran some. It wasn't coming through the pipes. I'll have to snake it later, I guess. I don't know how, but well, it's not getting through. I don't know how. I don't know what the deal is with it, but it's probably all just backing up and going into the ground, under the ground there or something. That's not doing us any good as far as the trees going under the shed. So, what it is, farming. I like farmers. I like farming. I do not like warriors and colonels and generals and admirals and peckerwoods and pussy plantations. Oh my, don't like them. Ain't got a lick of use for them. Even George Washington himself said, that the best army is not a career army. The best army is a militia that will stand up to protect their people and don't want to make a war into a career. That's why he retired after 2 terms of service as the president, to make sure that the militia was protected and that vigilant people that can protect their own rights because they don't let their rights step on others are the best protection against tyranny. Mercenaries are just mercenaries. And he knew that by the people that were, you send the worst people that want to kill because they'll take a paycheck to do it, When you have all those things, they're the officers usually. The rabble of mercenaries they usually get are just the poor, and we all know that poor people aren't always good. Okay, do you understand? Kilrain from Killer Angels, Michael Cera's, there's a divine spark. They're angels. They're damn killer angels. He went from New York to Maine. He went to Maine to get away from all the killers in the streets of New York. And he got up to Maine. That's why he kept calling him Colonel Darling. So you've lived up here in Oberlin College your whole life in a little oasis of humanity at a philosopher's college. You've never spent time in the boroughs of New York. He said he sat there. He's Irish, and they had to live in the tunnels under the streets. And he's watched black people kill people in his family just for a spot to sleep. So. Yeah, you can't look at a person and see them as a victim. They're a victim of their own arrogance and believing, all the stuff that arrogant people tell them. And then they'll get rewarded if they fight for what they want, which is wrong. You get exactly what you play for and what you pay for. So when you pray, let us pray, but not with an E, but make it with an A. Okay, the only E you need is at the beginning of my middle name, Earl. Lord. Okay, so do you guys understand? So I got this, man. I know what I'm doing. I've been dealing with Norfolk Grumman and Halliburton people my whole life, NASA people my whole life, NASA people not believing, and Norfolk Grumman and Halliburton believing that I'm just doing it wrong. And you can't spy on other people, torture them, and treat them like animals, and say that you're supposed to forgive debt and trespass, and say the person you're spying on that's performing the Gospels is doing it wrong. And you can't look at a person like an animal and he behaves like a human being better than you do and call him an animal. So NASA, Norfolk Grumman, Halliburton, pow, checkmate. Okay, and check your mate. And pick the fleas out your hair. And I can be as obnoxious as I want to be. Muhammad told me I can. Well, because, doggone it, people love me because they know I love them. Because I'll take the torture of the poor that are being mass murdered and tell the wealthy to go fuck themselves until they stop torturing the poor. And so I'm gorgeous. Thank you. You're welcome. I know. Look out.